Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Yuxi He. Yuxi He is the co-founder of Knovva Academy. With more than 8 years of experience in the education field as both a counselor and curriculum designer, Yuxi, together with her team, has helped thousands of grade school students from over 200 partner schools worldwide to access quality global education. Before joining Knovva, she worked at leading private equity and technology companies in the greater Boston area. Yuxi is a Massachusetts certified public accountant and is actively pursuing her MBA at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. Well, good afternoon, Yuxi. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. A new day, a new person. We get to share your story with the world. And it's so inspiring. You know, I do a little bit of research before the podcast to look at everybody's profile and their story. And I just can't wait to actually hear from them and them tell their story versus reading it from, an article or a LinkedIn profile, right? So that's awesome. Thank you. And Yuxi, we're going to jump right in here. You've got quite the career in finance. And now you're the founding partner of Knovva Academy. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
That's a great question, Brian. I think what drives me throughout my career has always been trying to achieve the highest standard professionally while providing meaningful work and value to people, regardless if it's in finance, tech, or education. And what inspired me the most to co-found Knovva Academy is to make quality global education accessible to K-12 students around the world. K-12 education has been operating in silos for many, many years, while colleges providing abundant amounts of global learning opportunities. Most of the grade school kids don't quite have the luxury to meet and connect with their peers from different cultural and socioeconomic backgrounds in a learning setting. And we founded Knovva to change that so that our next generation of kids can develop a true global mindset to have the exposure of real world in a safe environment that we create at an earlier age.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I do appreciate Yuxi. And Yuxi, tell us a little bit more about how Knovva Academy provides innovative ways of teaching and learning to students globally to excel in the real world.
Absolutely. At Knovva, we are on a mission to reinvent education from the ground up. We adopted the latest technologies to build a learning platform, a LMS, that's accessible to all. We are enabling thought leadership, collaboration, and innovation among student users from around the globe on a daily basis. So supporting this is a smart, evolving technology stack. One of the unique challenges for selecting the tech stack at Knovva is that the technology has to support the various users, their age, and locations. So tools are usually available in one country or sometimes banned in another, unfortunately. So we provide educational content to users with poor internet speeds on a decade-old device in developing countries, to those students who are learning through the latest version of a VR set. In our online learning classrooms, we guide students through synchronized and asynchronous learning methodologies, helping them to improve their competencies in reading, writing, and critical thinking. We also help students in the field of college and career readiness so that they can go to college of their dreams and achieving their career and life goals. And you know what's quite interesting, Brian, is that if you talk to any educator in the field, they will tell you that as great as online learning goes, in-person learning is also a critical part of education that cannot be fully replaced yet. In-person learning helps students to develop empathy, learn how to interact and communicate in real life, and to teach them how to work as a team and to find a way to resolve conflicts on their own. So at Knovva, we also embracing the hybrid blended learning model. We host our annual Model G20 summits in person at different locations before COVID. We try to create a safe zone for our students to meet and spend time with each other, with professors and instructors in a designed, structured way. It has been quite a bonding experience for students who otherwise wouldn't be able to meet so many of their learning peers, who are raised in different countries and who speak different languages, and also to make lifelong friends out of it.
That's awesome. And you're absolutely right, Yuxi, that hybrid, right? We've got to find that balance, because without in-classroom learning, we do lose some of that personal interaction and empathy. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
And so, Yuxi, the pandemic, and we're just talking about this in-person versus virtual learning, right? But the pandemic shifted the traditional education, the tutoring, the counseling, the model online, right? How do you see the value of digital learning and the future of online learning education resources?
Yeah, the pandemic has hit particularly hard for students and educators, I would say, because their learning behaviors had to be reshaped overnight. We found overwhelming amounts of interest from our students and school partners during the pandemic when they were in lockdowns, but still trying to, stay engaged. And I believe that technologies have played a significant role in a special time like this, as it significantly lowered the barrier of access to quality education, especially for the underprivileged kids. We at Knovva has supported inner city public schools in the States to engage their students in extracurricular programs online, while we also helped schools in countries like Pakistan, Indonesia, China, India to digitize their core learning materials. And also when it comes to college admission, which is, debatably the ultimate topic for most grade school students, we also see drastic changes in the admission decision process. When, standardized testing become optional, when school visits become virtual, while the acceptance rates of the top US colleges have been hitting a historical low, we see that it all narrowed down to the core competency of a student. So as a student, are your values aligned with the school's values? Can you prove that your excellencies through your academic and extracurricular works? Do you have a genuine interest in what you are going to learn in the next 4 years? All these together create the new norm for the post-pandemic college applicants, and our counselors and instructors at Knovva are here to support them too.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. There's new challenges every day, and people like you, Yuxi, are rising to the challenge to help facilitate, especially in the education space. So I appreciate that. And Yuxi, last question, really, it's kind of a two-part question here. We want you to share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in education, services, or entrepreneurship, but also what new roles you see students working towards, and what's the advice you give?
That's a great question. So first of all, I have to say that, entrepreneurship is hard. So as sexy as it sounds, it's a lot of work with uncertainties. So my biggest advice to whoever has this brilliant idea in their mind and they can't wait to make it happen is that just embrace the journey. There will be ups and downs. Not that everyone would share your passion or understand the importance of the problem that you are trying to solve. But if you feel the eager inside you to do something that you think you might be the most suitable person to do it, then just take a deep dive into it. Find the right people who share your passion, on board with your vision, and just be brave. So it's going to be a wild ride, but you wouldn't regret it, right? And also, when it comes to education, I personally have a very strong feeling towards it too. I truly believe that education is the one thing that can change someone's life. So taking myself as an example, I am a first-generation immigrant myself. I came to the States as a young adult, and English is not my mother tongue. I have struggled a lot when I first came here, and it was education that truly brought me up, gave me the opportunity to prove myself and to be able to think about something that's, bigger than myself. And It was the schools that I went to, the teachers that I met, the programs that I enrolled into that connected me with a strong supporting network, interesting people, and different perspectives. So I would say if you are interested in being in the education field, I would say you've made the right choice and you're going to do meaningful work. On top of that, if you're someone who can translate missions into actions and understand the economic value of education towards the whole society, then this is truly the best job you can find. And Knovva, every year we receive so many letters from our past students telling us how our programs were a once-in-a-lifetime experience for them, how many new friends they have made, and how that shaped their future life and career decisions. And that's the most heartwarming thing you can hear, right? And almost no other professions would be able to give it to you. So overall, I would say that if education is your passion, then go for it. If entrepreneurship is your passion, then go and make a change. You might trip, might fall, but you will thank yourself later on for doing it.
That's awesome. You have, again, like everybody else here on the show, you have a unique story. And I love how you've kind of melded those two together, education and entrepreneurship. And again, what you've shared is really some gems, some advice for those young up-and-comers. So I appreciate it. And Yuxi, I just want to let you know it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you again for having me today, Brian, and take care.
Bye for now.